Good afternoon. I'm Nicole Livas. This is continuing coverage of the tragedy from Friday at the Virginia Beach Municipal Center. You see people gathering there at the podium for a news conference that's about to begin. It looks like Governor Ralph Northam will be the first to speak. We are waiting to see them gather here. City officials are there, and we know that 12 people died yesterday in this mass shooting at the Municipal Center, and it was a city worker who went into Building 2 and started shooting and got into a gun battle with police, and he died, and then 12 city workers. Okay, let's listen in to Governor Northam.
Being here and doing the work that you're doing and letting the people across Virginia and this country know of the efforts as we deal with this horrific tragedy. I'd also like to thank all of the men and women who have stepped forward and been part of this effort as we move forward in healing Virginia. They are no doubt dedicated, professional, and compassionate, and for that I say thank you to Mayor Dyer, who leads this city, to our city manager, Dave Hanson, our Chief of Police, Severa. Thank you for your leadership, as well as the other elected officials during a very, very difficult time here in Virginia Beach. We continue to focus on these families, on the victims. As we said yesterday, these are 12 individuals who came to work in the city of Virginia Beach thinking that they would go home in the evening, and they didn't return and have left a tremendous void in their families and in our community. I have had the opportunity, along with some other elected officials, to visit our local hospitals. I'm a doctor. I served in Desert Storm. I have been in situations such as this, and it was important to me to go to our hospitals and thank the doctors, the nurses, and the staff. And I can let you know I also had the opportunity to speak with some of the families. They send their thanks for the heroic deeds that were performed yesterday, and I want to assure you that they are all being well cared for in our local hospitals. I want to also thank the outpouring of support and love that has come not only from Hampton Roads in Virginia, but across this country, and it just is so important as we continue in this healing process. So I would ask all of you that are viewing this today to continue to please lift up Virginia Beach, continue to lift up these victims and their families as we continue this healing process, which will go on not for days but months and years. So thank you, and I will turn this over to our Mayor of Virginia Beach, Mayor Bobby Dyer. Mayor.
Thank you, Governor. It's been about 23 hours since this horror was imposed upon the city of Virginia Beach. And let me just say this, we will not be defined by this horror. We will go forward. We are a city of resiliency and resolve. The true character of our city is going to rest with our public, our citizens, and our neighbors that we share borders with. The governor just mentioned there is an outpouring of love, empathy, and willingness to help. There is no doubt, question, or reservation. Let me just say this, and I will be brief. There's one thing that is most evident that has come about. We in Virginia Beach are a city of heroes. We have heroes with our military. We have many members of our public that help and save lives. But most of all, let me commend the officers, the people that ran into a building with an active shooter shooting .45 caliber bullets and saved many people. Without doubt, question, or reservation, Virginia Beach is a city of heroes. And the strength of Virginia Beach are the people of Virginia Beach. And there's no doubt that going forward that we will define ourselves as a city with love and compassion for those neighbors that we lost and their families. And we're not going to just do this over the next couple weeks. This is going to be a long-term thing. This is Virginia Beach. Thank you. And at this point, I'd like to, bring up Chief Cervera.
From the police end, we do not have a lot of additional information to give at this time other than FBI has, Federal Bureau of Investigation has taken over the evidence recovery portion of this. Their ERT has responded. They've come as a group of 40 individuals assisting the city of Virginia Beach. It is a time-consuming, meticulous process. It is not what you see on TV. It is not what you see in the movies. It's a time-consuming process. And they have taken that assignment on magnificently. They're doing an absolute fantastic job inside of the building. Our evidence, forensic evidence techs are also inside the building.
Talking about the tragedy in Virginia Beach, Virginia Beach Police Chief Jim Cervera probably spoke the longest and the most with information, saying that the FBI has taken over the evidence recovery operation, and it is a time-consuming process. So dozens of law enforcement agents are working there inside the building to gather information. Chief also said the Virginia Beach Police Honor Guard will be assigned to the families to help them, the families of the victims. We have 12 families here that we're talking about. And he's working on a timeline to give more information about the shootout that took place between the gunman and the 4 police officers who initially responded to Building 2 there at the Virginia Beach Municipal Center. We also heard from ATF Special Agent in charge, Sean Benedict. He confirmed that there were 2 .45 caliber pistols that the shooter brought, and that he had in his possession, and he bought them legally, he said. One in 2016 and one in 2018. So over the last 3 years, this man purchased these weapons legally. He also said 2 other firearms were recovered at his home in Virginia Beach, also legally purchased. They are investigating ballistics now to see if they can match the ammo to any other shootings, but they say right now that there's nothing, on the record, just that he purchased these firearms. We also heard from Julie Hill. She's Director of Communications with the city. This was a sad statement here, but it's reality. They have to plan funerals. She said there are a lot of plans to make now. They're meeting with the families, and she thanked the community who has stepped in. They are planning a memorial service that everyone can attend on Thursday. That date is June 5th at 7 p.m. at Rock Church on Kempsville Road in Virginia Beach. If you're not familiar with Rock Church, it's a big church there in Kempsville, and often the site of funerals for fallen law enforcement officers or public figures. It's a beautiful church. That's where this memorial service will be on Thursday. There's also a designated area for mementos, memorial items, if you wanted to drop something off as a tribute to the 12 victims. She said that's at Building 11 on Princess Anne Road. And she also asked us to give the families time to share information about their loved ones. I mean, we're talking about 12 people here, 12 very different people, 12 people who were in that building at the same time. 11 of them worked there, city workers, and one was a contractor. So she asked us just, she says the families probably will want you to know who their family member is, more about them, but just to give time, because obviously they are processing all of this. And someone asked about going back to work. So what if you work there at the municipal complex? What if you work in Building 2? What are you supposed to do on Monday? She says specific information will be sent to employees about modified schedules for Monday. As we know, anybody who works for the government or the military, we have things that are called essential employees. So the city also has essential employees, so they have to work through that with those who will have to do some work. We know IT, information technology, they work out of Building 2. So there are some essential workers, but they will send information out to the employees to let them know what they are supposed to do on Monday. Now, Governor Ralph Northam also spoke. He said he has visited local hospitals. He actually is a doctor. He's a pediatrician. He served in Operation Desert Storm. So he understands the response to emergencies like this. So he says he talked to the medical staff who helped out, and he also talked to some families, and he said that they have a message to you. They want to thank you for your outpouring of love. And Mayor Bobby Dyer spoke, saying basically the true character will rest with our citizens and neighbors who border Virginia Beach. So he's talking about the 757, our area, and really beyond, regionally, other states, other countries who are feeling this hurt with us right now. He said, we will define ourselves as the city of love and compassion for the neighbors we lost. So a lot of information here. One more time, Allison? Okay. All right, let's talk about the victims here. This is a fluid situation, so that's Allison, the producer. She's talking to me as we're trying to get this information to you. All right, let's take a look at the names and the pictures of the people who we lost here on Friday. All right, we've got names right now. Laquita Brown, Tara Gallagher, Mary Gale, Alexander Gusev, Catherine Nixon, Richard Nettleton, Christopher Rapp, Ryan Cox, Joshua Hardy, Michelle Missy Langer, Robert Bobby Williams, Herbert Burt Snelling. Now we do know the gunman. He's a 40-year-old. He was an engineer with Public Utilities for 15 years and was still employed with the city when the shooting happened. That's something that there's been a little controversy over that. The police chief was asked, was he still an employee or was he fired? Did he show up for work on Friday as an employee? The chief says he was still an employee with the city. Now, the city of Virginia Beach is holding for VB Remembers this week. We mentioned on Thursday they will remember the 12 people. And this will be at Rock Church on Kempsville Road. We can't tell you this too many times because everyone is invited, okay? This is in the Kempsville section, huge church. Again, it's Thursday, June 6th at 7 p.m. at Rock Church on Kempsville Road. All right, let's get to the patients now. Centera gave us an update this afternoon. They said 3 victims are still in the hospital, and we've learned 2 others did not make it. 13 News Now reporter Adriana Dialba is here with more on how medical staff handled this emergency. Adriana?
Well, they handled it well, Nicole. Doctors said as much as they train and prepare for this, no drill could ever prepare them to handle this kind of tragedy. Despite that, they say it went as smoothly as it could have possibly gone. Right now, the 3 victims still in the hospital are in stable condition. They're all suffering from serious gunshot wounds and have several injuries in multiple places. 2 of the victims underwent surgery. The other did not undergo surgery, and doctors hope for a full recovery. Doctors described the situation as controlled chaos. They had 30 minutes to prepare, and during that time, medical staff came up with a plan. They split up into groups, and they prepared as quickly as they could before the first victims arrived.
It's what we train for. I mean, this is why we chose to go into these professions. But when it's actually happening in the scale that it's happening, it becomes surreal. And you have to just focus, compartmentalize, attend to what's going on at that moment. That's why I do what I do. As much as Virginia Beach is a city, it's got a small town heart. This is taking a toll on our community. This is our friends, our neighbors, and from the hospital's perspective, we'll have a beginning and an end to our responsibility, but this is something that will continue to affect the families, the victims, the community for a very long time.
Now, Virginia Beach has one of the largest volunteer medical systems in the nation, and doctors said they showed up in a big way. Volunteer nurses came in, they stayed late, and that's what allowed them to handle this difficult situation. But even now, as we speak, the hard work continues as those patients are still trying to recover, and doctors say that they'll give us another update on the patients tomorrow morning. For now, Adriana Dialba, 13 News Now.
It's really a story of everyone coming together now. Virginia Capitol Police tweeted that Governor Northam ordered that Virginia flags are to be lowered to half staff across the Commonwealth until sunset on June 8th. This is, of course, in memory of the victims. Well, President Donald Trump is being briefed on what happened at the Municipal Center in Virginia Beach. He tweeted earlier today, spoke to Virginia Governor Ralph Northam last night and the mayor and the vice mayor of Virginia Beach this morning to offer condolences to that great community. The federal government is there and will be for whatever they may need. God bless the families and all. Now, a lot of people, a lot of you in the Commonwealth are trying to help those impacted by this tragedy. The city has listed volunteer information on its website. Be sure to stay with us for the latest on 13 News Now at 6 and 11, and we will always keep you updated on 13newsnow.com and on our 13 News Now app.